This is Lynn Brunet, and you are listening to Me, Myself, and I Radio.
Welcome to Me, Myself, and I Radio, a self-discovery podcast. Here are stories of transformation and hope with your host, Anthony Hayes. It's time to be inspired. Let's go.
Gotta get up, it's early morning. Drank so hard last night, my lids are swollen. Got my guitar, gotta get to a studio. Got a track and I think it's gonna hit, yo. It's been so many years and there's been so many tears, and it's gonna be well worth the pain, see, when all my people line up to see me. Cause I got no money, got no home.
If you enjoyed that introduction song, that is Lovestruck Robot coming through again with the tunes, this time with Do It All for the Dream. Head on over to lovestruckrobot.com or download that on iTunes right now.
Good morning, good afternoon, hip hip hooray, me, myself, and I Radio Tribe. It's Anthony Hayes back again with another lovely guest for you. My co-pilot on today's journey of self-discovery is a fellow podcaster, a radio personality. She's a master coach, and there's just so much stuff that she brings to the table, to the point where, like, I actually did not delve deep into everything, because when we were doing this back and forth exchange, we're like, hey, do you want to come on the show, yada yada, there was one thing that stuck out in the message, and she wrote to me, our lovely guest wrote this, and I quote, "I'd love to jam with you on your show, !" And at that point, I stopped reading, because I was like, this lady's fabulous. We have to get together. Lynn Brunet, let's get into Me, Myself, and I, shall we?
Hey, you bet.
Cool.
Let's jam.
I love that. I read that and I was just like, oh yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Man, so Lynn, you've had an amazing career over the years and through radio, and I could probably learn so much from you alone. So that's the you today, but like what was that discovery process like for you? What brought you to today, would you say?
It has been a long journey. I think I started back in 2008. 2008 was the pivotal year for me. That was the year that said to me, grow or die. Like Tony Robbins, my mentor, love that guy, says, grow or die. And it's so true. And I mean, not literally, obviously, because I'm still here, but, I died a little inside. My soul had died, and it showed up physically. And I'll never forget, January 4th, 2008, I woke up one morning and I couldn't walk. I could barely stand. The pain was excruciating. And, I'd wished it. I really had. Be careful what you wish for. For probably a few months before that, I was saying to a coworker, oh God, I just don't want to come here anymore. I just can't do this anymore. A monkey could do this job. And while I had really enjoyed it, I loved the aspects that allowed me to show my strengths. And I'd met some great people. It was no longer challenging or fulfilling to me. And that's a huge value to me. And I'd been saying, oh God, I wish I didn't have to come here anymore, because, God forbid you should quit your job, because people will think you're crazy if you quit your job. Right?
Yeah.
You should be grateful you have a job. But I'd been saying, God, I wish I didn't have to come here anymore. And I knew we had short-term disability at work. And I thought, God, if there was a way, I didn't have to come here, but I could still get money. Gee, wouldn't that be great? A few months later, I woke up that morning and I couldn't walk, and I went on short-term disability for 4 months. I was on my back. Didn't know if I'd ever be able to walk again. I had to lay on the bathroom counter to brush my teeth because standing up was too painful.
How did that happen? Like, where did it just all of a sudden came to being, or Was it the mental toll that you were going through and the emotions, did it just break you down physically, or?
Yeah, I had just become really unhappy. Like, life was just, I was basically a single mom, and I was seeing somebody who I've been with now for 11 years. And so I had just become life was just a series of days and nothing stood out. And I was just really feeling that soul burn that I needed to do something more, that I was meant to do more, that I had to leave my mark.
Preach, sister.
Yeah, it's a soul burn. And so I had nothing to do. I spent 4 months on my back, and it really forced me to slow down because I am a go person. And I can go doing nothing, right? Yeah. Nothing meaningful anyway. And so it forced me to do the things that I had stopped doing. Journaling, reading, going inside, and really, I was forced to go, okay, so what are you going to do? Like, I didn't know if I'd walk again. What are you going to do from here, Lynn? Like, what now?
Yeah.
And so I started thinking about what I wanted. And surprisingly, for someone who's always on the go and can't sit for long, it didn't bother me that I couldn't move. And I guess that was just a sign that I really needed to then go within and get back to who I was. And started thinking about, okay, so what do you want? Where are you going to go from here? What are you going to do? And slowly over that process, and, with some alternative therapies too, but really just focusing on me, because I'd focused on everybody else and everything else. Sure. I started getting better. I started growing again. Oh, yeah. And figuring out what I wanted, and I started getting better, and I started getting better. So after 4 months, I was well enough to go to work. And in that time, I had learned about life coaching and Googled it, of course, because what else do you do? And a whole new world opened up to me, and it just screamed at me, yes, this is it. This is where you're meant to be. And, I'd been a fan of Tony Robbins since I was like 12, watching all the late night infomercials of his. Yeah, right. And I just got into that world, and I had made the decision that I had registered to do training to be a certified life coach. And I thought, okay, I'll go back to work and I'll do that while I'm doing my training until I can leave my job. And so I went back to work. I was well enough to go back to work. And after a month, my boss called me into his office. It was a Friday, end of day, and said, I'm so sorry. We've sold the business. Your job is no longer. And it's nothing personal, and he felt so bad. Inside, I was jumping up and down. I was so freaking excited that I didn't have to come back Monday morning, that the doors were just flung right open, and I could start this new life that I was meant to live.
Wow. That's totally epic. I love that. I think there's so many people that can relate to that. It's taking that step of faith, being outside your comfort zone. But not only that, stop asking yourself why and ask yourself what if and when. And I think that's exactly what you did. You started saying to yourself, what are you going to do? How are you going to get yourself out of this? And you then took that and correct me if I'm wrong, you shifted all that energy and you put it to very good use. So you took something out of a negative to make it a positive, and now you're changing other people's lives.
Because, it's stories that inspire people to change their lives. And for me, it wasn't somebody's story because I had turned all that off. I was just going through life. For me, it was life like slapping me upside the head. Going, hello, like, are you going to do something with this one amazing life you have? Because this isn't where you're meant to be. And I had to be forced basically to take that step. So, and now I can walk, I can dance, I can do all kinds of things.
Yeah, get it.
So, that really started the process. And, we get reminders like that. We get reminders, and we can pay attention or not. So those rough times, pay attention, people. Pay attention.
Yeah, there's signs hidden in everything. They may be small, and the question is, are you reading the right signs, right? I mean, there's so many obstacles we face, and there's these little things along the way that may be subtle, but they add up in the bigger picture, don't they, in the long run, I see.
Well, they do, but you know what? We don't want to look at them.
True.
We don't want to look at them
Right.
because it's too difficult, and then we're forced.
No doubt. Yeah, no, I definitely, I do it every day. Constantly trying to push myself to step out of my comfort zone and to, stop being so fearful about trying new things. And it's just this whole trying to discover myself and discovering other people, learning about other people, their journey is what has brought me to today. And, 6 months ago, if you would have asked me if I would have had a full day of podcasting ahead of me, I would have told you, no, I don't really feel like podcasting today. But I sat down, wrote down a guest list. This is today is the most if you have an idea, you're witnessing history today. I have notes and timelines and 6 or 9 or some, I don't know. I lost track of how many people I talked to today. And it's such an amazing experience to be able to push that barrier and overcome those obstacles and to really, to reach out and learn
And isn't
from everybody
it an
else.
adrenaline rush? An adrenaline
Oh,
rush?
totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I've eaten nothing all day. I'm just on complete energy, adrenaline right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And so there's total immersion, right? That's one of the ways you make a massive change, massive action is total immersion in something, and that fuels you and it becomes addictive, and that's what creates the momentum to make the change in your life, to keep going. And I have seen it in you. You do step out, and the book that you have that you've just launched, and I see it in you, definitely. And it's tough. It's definitely tough, but you find what fuels you, right? And you've got this great group, and everybody fuels each other and pushes each other and motivates each other. And that's what you need. You need that immersion, that place that you're surrounded by. And even the bad times, when I was on my back, it was like total immersion in pain. And that's what pushes you through. That's the key to pushing you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt. A great support system is something that I think without it, a lot of us would have given up a long time ago. Just in getting into podcasting and everything in general, it was kind of like I told my girlfriend, I'm like, hey, I need to record an episode, or I need to do this, that, and the other thing. She's like, okay. She was totally on board. I dragged her to a podcasting conference in September. So it's been, it's been awesome to be able to share that experience, and not only that, but just to have so much support from her in this process, I think has been a really big benefactor for me alone.
Oh yeah. The way of the lone wolf is gone. You just can't do that anymore, right? Mm-hmm. And for a lot of people, that is the way. And for me, that was the way too. You can't lone wolf it anymore. You need the pack.
Mm-hmm.
You need the pack.
Yeah, no doubt. That's a good analogy. The pack, like a pack of wolves. I love that. That's so cool. So where along this journey, this self-discovery, these me, myself, and I elements that we know today, where all does the radio fall into that?
Well, like you, it was like sort of an accident. Not really, but so when I finished my coach training, and I had a first business coach, and he had a radio show, and I was like, whoa, you have a radio show? And he said, yeah, absolutely. And you could have one too. And I'm like, really? So helped me out. And I thought,
that's exactly what I said. That's so funny.
And I thought, cool. Okay. Well, I want to put the word out there that I'm a coach. I'm launching my coaching practice, and sure, let's do it. What the hell? And, being naive sometimes is the best thing because you don't have that fear in there. I didn't really have a fear because I was like, okay, let's do this. I have no clue. There weren't the groups and the coaches and all of that you see now when I started. I mean, I had no clue about intros, outros, finding guests. I mean, I had to learn this all along the way. So I did my first show solo. And I did that for quite a while, met amazing people, and I didn't realize how much I would love it. Loved it. And obviously I did because here I am 8 years later and I'm still really immersed in that world. So I've done both live radio and podcasting. And I've switched between the two and I've learned along the way and have had mentors and really gathered a lot of information about it and then got to the point where, because I'm such an information gatherer, my toolbox of resources is massive. And I can
use Evernote?
That's one thing I don't.
Okay. I was just curious. It sounds like you just dump everything into Evernote. It's a really good app. I like it.
I know lots of people that use it, and that's one that I don't use. I know of it, but I don't. A lot of it's just in my head. I just remember because I'm just so about connecting people to things that they need. So it's in my head. I know someone who does that, and I know what you could use, so it was a great way.
I wish I could do that.
I don't know. It's a gift.
Mm-hmm. There's no doubt about that. It's one gift I don't have. I'm a complete scatterbrain. I have to write everything down, and
I do a lot of that too.
Just,
I have notes everywhere too, but so I didn't realize how much I would love it. And so I got to the point where I launched a network of hosts, and because I love to teach, and I was able then to train others to, to format a show, to launch their own show, how to keep it going, how to keep it out there, market it, different ways to use it, and different platforms to host on. So love doing that.
And did you do a school for any of this, or it was just something that you taught yourself to do all these things and learn all these sources and things like that?
I didn't go to a school. I just learned along the way. I had people that just showed up in my path that had been there on it.
Cool. Yeah, definitely. I find that, and I heard this somewhere. It was like an interview or a webinar or something. There was somebody, but that 80% of their content came from talking to other people. That there's a topic or it sparks something in your mind. He couldn't quite put his finger on it, but it was just, creating all that content is just like have a conversation with somebody. You never know what's going to come out of it. It could be the next big thing. They could give you an idea. It could spark something in your mind. And I could totally see that whole networking capability, especially with social media that we're able to do now, is an intricate part of whatever you're doing, whatever your business venture is, your personal life. There's I'm in groups for fathers and dads in the dad space online, and masterminds and things like that. So like whatever you guys are into out there, listeners, there's something for you. There's some type of support system. You just got to go out there and find it.
Oh yeah. And it's everywhere. I mean, we are not without resources as a society. I mean, we can get anything we want at our fingertips. Mm-hmm. It's taking the time to implement it, but conversation is key. It creates healing. It creates change. And that's why I think I've kept going, because guests have inspired me. It's made me more confident. It's just conversation is key to anything. It connects us, and it makes us feel not so alone, and makes us realize that we're all just different versions of each other.
Wow. I love that. I'm picking apart everything you're saying, and I'm mentally making notes of all the stuff that I want to include on the blog and stuff I want to pull out from this, because there's so much value and wisdom and resources and and things along that line that I know everybody out there is going to want to get involved in or check it out on their own and stuff like that, because I'm going to have everything available for everybody. Me, myself, and iRadio.com/Lynn to make it easy. And obviously we'll put links and everything like that. But that's that's something for you guys out there. There's another resource. You wanna see what's going on. You want to see what Lynn's all about. You want to read these blog posts. We can do that for you. And this is just one other avenue to be inspired.
Because I'm sure conversation was huge for you, right? In helping you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, big time. I mean, I was so terrified of reaching out to people and asking them, hey, do you want to come on my show? At first it was kind of like friends and people I knew really well. But then I started reaching out to like one of my favorite authors as she came on. And it was just, it just spiraled from there. And now it's kind of like, who's next? Like, who's the next awesome person that I can learn from? And I think for me, a lot of my hang up is because I'm always in my own head. So everything that I'm thinking, my mouth can't keep up with my brain. So this forces me to kind of slow down, to process things a little slower, and to really be I would say, a better listener, which could also translate into many aspects of your life, your relationship, and stuff like that. Just being able to be a better communicator, because it's something that I think we're losing, to be honest with you. Everything is emojis, and call me old school. I mean, I'm only 32, but there's something about it that creeps me out. Everything is an icon. I was on a website the other day that I usually went, I think it was like Amazon, and I was on the mobile, and there's all these icons, and I was like, okay, wait, how do I log into my account? What the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
It was just some little symbol, and I'm like, oh man, I'm getting older. Something funny is going on.
I know, it's like a new language you have to learn, right?
It's hieroglyphics.
Oh my God, I know. We're going backwards.
It's so crazy.
I know, and then you have to learn. What the hell is SMH?
Yeah.
Oh, shaking my head. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. It's like a whole new language that you have to learn. And I'm sorry, I'm writing out the whole word. That is just me. I'm that way too. I mean, I like, the odd emoji. Come on.
Yeah.
But
they have the little poop one. Do you ever see that poop emoji?
Yes. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It
That's
is.
so cool.
But, the conversation will never go away. There's some things that will never go away. And that is talking to people. And there's just some old school things that just, we'll never get to the point where we're completely disconnected, because we need it to thrive. I mean, that's just who we are as human beings. And podcasts and radio shows, that's the best way to do it. We have a conversation and who knows where it goes. And I mean, that's priceless. Priceless.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And from what it sounds like, there's been a lot of inspiration and resources. You spoke of Tony Robbins and things like that. So what along this self-discovery process for you sticks out as a resource? It could be a book, a website, or anything like that really, really got you motivated to become the Lynn we know today.
Well, definitely Tony Robbins. I mean, that's from the time that I was a kid, and then I just got reacquainted, and I was lucky enough that I do training through one of his coach training institutes, RMT. Met some great people there. So that was definitely a huge thing. And I can't say that there's something, I mean, honestly, that I'm not as much as I love tech and apps and things like that, I don't rely heavily on them. So there isn't something that hugely stands out for me, I think, other than social media, because that's where I can connect. I mean, that some days it makes me feel like total crap about myself, and that's just when I have to step away. But I think that's the biggest thing, because that's where I get my information. That's where I learn about new things. That's where I get ideas. That's where I connect with guests, friends. I've made some of the best friends ever on social media that I've never met.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it really is, though. And
some
when
of the
you
people
actually get to meet them in person is like a whole different thing. Like, I had relationships with some of the guys in like the podcasting community, and then I'll finally I'll go to a podcasting conference. We're all there together, and just to be able to share that experience, that discovery process, and then to have it right there in front of you is it's a different world. And you're right. It really forces you to take a step back, to remember before there was Facebook and texting and these things that are just, it's completely getting out of control. But
I know. Okay, well now I text because my son texts me now.
Mm-hmm.
So now I do that. But
my dad just recently upgraded from a flip phone to an iPhone and is learning how to text.
There's, a lot of great apps and things. My latest that I love is Instagram.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting into that again myself. I forgot I even had it for so long, but just seeing and hearing about the value that others have found in it, and marketing their shows or brands or like whatever they're doing, I've actually revisited that myself. So yeah, Instagram is really cool.
Yeah, well, the picture's worth 1,000 words, right? So it'll grab you in some way. It'll inspire you. It'll make you laugh. It'll whatever. So yeah, I don't have like the awesomest little thing, but social media, you know, connect,
no doubt.
Use it, leverage it.
Yes, leverage it like we did today. And it's been an awesome journey here with you. And looking back on our whole life, and if we got into our time capsule, our little time machine here, and we went back, what's something you would tell your 21-year-old self, do you think?
Take the damn cruise ship job. That, I'm not a person of regrets, but sometimes I think back and I think, damn, I would tell everybody who graduates, get a cruise ship job. You make money, you travel, you meet amazing people that could change the trajectory of your life.
That is probably the most unique answer I've ever heard to that question. And I thank you for sharing that. That is, yeah. Because once you get older, you can't do it. Or not as often, anyway.
It's all discovering who you are, right?
Yes. I love that. What's on the horizon? Where can people find out more about you and everything that you have going on?
Oh, on the horizon. I have just recently joined, and this speaks to my values, my beliefs, and what I was really looking for is I'm part of this company called Alexander's Grace, and it's an incubator of entrepreneurs that have the freedom to contribute to elite courses and programs created by them, showcasing their expertise and their strengths, coming together with a mastermind and coaching and support. And it's a fabulous place, something I'd actually been thinking about, hoping I could find or someone would create for a few years now. And it came across my path because I'm always looking for opportunities. And thanks to social media, that's how I found it. And
What's the website?
It's alexandersgrace.com.
Cool. Awesome.
That's what's on the horizon. I can share my expertise in podcasting.
Yes, podcasting, taking over the world.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Cool. I'm going to put that in the show notes and on the blog and everything so people can get access to that and check it out if that's something that sounds interesting. It sounds interesting to me. And, at the end of every show, Lynn, I always encourage everybody out there listening, no matter what you have going on, no matter what your obstacles are, whatever you're going through today, that there's only one thing you can do, and that's to control the controllable. As for the rest, keep on flowing and just be. This has been Me, Myself, and I Radio with my lovely guest, Lynn. Lynn, thank you so much for talking to me today.
Oh, an honor. Thanks.
You've been listening to Me, Myself, and I Radio with your host, Anthony Hayes. Tune in next time.